To develop.
To develop. Very nice. Anything else?
To grow or
Grow.
nurture.
All right. Nurture. So we have to cultivate awareness through conscious efforts. That's not going to happen automatically. Yes. The more aware we are, the more controlled we can be, the more emotional regulation we can have, and the more stronger, more powerful we can be. Does anybody know what is emotional regulation? In simple words, you know, the Hindi movies have a lot of songs. मेरे दिल में आज क्या है तू कहे तो मैं बता दूं अगर तू कहे तो बता दूं भाई यूं ही नहीं that is emotional regulation. I'm asking for permission. All right. Let's take another example. Uh, you are very angry at your boss, and you say to your boss, "You stupid baldy," and of course, you know what's going to happen next. Congratulations. But what do you control there? Your emotions. What do you regulate? Emotions. For that, which part of your brain is going to be helpful? The limbic brain,
Prefrontal cortex.
prefrontal cortex. Now, that again is related to awareness, regulation. So, there are multiple things that work together. But one of the things we are aware of is we need to develop a strong prefrontal cortex and we need to get our attention away from the whole lizard brain. Is that okay? And that is why we have meditation and so many things. We have looked at in the last psychology session, we have looked at how adrenaline works and how cortisol works. And was anybody present there? Present मतलब हाँ mentally present है physically तो सभी थे but mentally were you there कि yeah I have understood this concept. So with all our knowledge, with all the information, with all the understanding, we come to a conclusion that we need to be physically fit as well. And one of the most important organs in your body, when you talk about fitness, that really nobody talks about. People talk about the kidney, people talk about the heart and the liver, but I don't see many people talking about the brain, are they? All right. But what we have to realize is, अगर brain बंद पड़ गया, तो you're brain dead. You are a vegetable. आप कोमा में है, जिंदगी तो सारी चालू है, लिवर चालू है, हार्ट चालू है, लेकिन ब्रेन चालू नहीं है. In a conscious way, right?
Yes.
So, we are going through this book, How to Make Your Brain Healthier. The question is, what if it is already healthy? What if already healthy brain? Then really should we have to understand all these concepts seriously? No, the chodo na. So that's why today we have skipped going through the key point because we have a healthy brain. We are all good. बाकी क्या कौन सा पिक्चर विक्चर देखा क्या चल रहा है आजकल
So, what are the parameters of healthy brain? How
rephrase
would,
the question please
yeah, how do I analyze that I have a healthy brain?
when you don't need to analyze it seems that you have a healthy brain when you don't know you don't need to it means you already have a healthy brain so how do you analyze if you have a healthy brain or not this is a very interesting question um see physically healthy there are multiple tests but we don't want to go through medical tests. Yes, guys, no scanning, no CT, no nothing. We don't want to do anything like that. But there are some people on YouTube, some doctors, and they say, if you stand like this, if you open the fingers of your palm on the left hand, on the right hand, if you do like that, if you're able to do that, your brain is fit and healthy. They have some ways of doing it. So maybe you can check out those videos. But even if we know or not know, the question is, should we really know more about our brain health? Because that might be useful for us, for our loved ones, for our children, even for our parents for that matter. Yes, no?
Yes.
Now, one of the things we have studied about the brain so far is that the brain, earlier we thought you cannot teach an old dog new tricks. हिंदी में क्या कहते हैं? बंदर कितना भी बूढ़ा हो जाए, कहाँ से हैं ये बोरिंग लोग?
गुलाटी
बंदर
मारना
रट्टा।
नहीं छोड़ता।
क्या?
बंदर कितना भी बूढ़ा हो जाए गुलाटी मारना नहीं छोड़ता।
Hmm. What that means is he cannot change. It's not a compliment. All right. कुत्ते की दुम
एड़ी।
टेढ़ी की टेढ़ी रहेगी।
है ना, कुछ भी करो. So are we looking at rigidity or are these compliments?
Rigidity.
All right. English में कहावत है, you cannot teach an old dogs new tricks. कहने का मतलब है हिंदी में,
कुत्ते की
quick.
दुम टेढ़ी की टेढ़ी।
हम्म.
हिंदी में कुत्ते की दुम टेढ़ी की टेढ़ी।
हाँ, लेकिन अगर उसको ट्रांसलेट किया जाए तो क्या होगा? Wasting,
पुराने
wasting.
नई चीजें
The
नहीं
old
सीख सकते।
dog is not adapting to a new change, and he's so rigid that whatever you do with a new experiment, he would not adopt that.
बहुत अच्छी हिंदी बात की शीतल जी ने अभी, थैंक यू सो मच. हमने उनको हिंदी को ट्रांसलेट करने बोला था, उन्होंने बड़े अच्छी तरह से हिंदी में ट्रांसलेट करके दिखाया है और हम मान गए उनके कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स को और लिसनिंग स्किल्स को भी. ऑल राइट. सो गाइस, क्या लगता है शीतल जी का ब्रेन हेल्दी है?
Yes, yes.
अयो. बेस्ट हो गई.
She tried to explain.
नो, वी आर जस्ट
So I
किडिंग.
failed in first test.
No, no, no. We're just kidding. We're just fooling you. Your brain is fine. We're just messing with you. All right, guys. So all these things show signs of rigidity. But what did we learn in the last psychology session? That there is neuroplasticity. The brain can adapt, can change. Is that okay so far?
Yes.
Earlier, they used to believe swabhala aushad.
नहीं.
But now things can change. Are we good so far?
Yes.
Okay. So the last time we did a little bit of reading and we started realizing that once we start reading, what we imagine and what is written there may not match. I have attended sessions with other people and I'm going to say something which you are going to find nonsensical. But if anybody is going to believe me, I'm going to share. May I?
Sure, sir.
I attended some online sessions like this with some other people. Somebody was a PhD scholar, somebody was a psychologist for the last 20 years, somebody is a counselor for the last 30 years. And when we were reading a book on psychology together, they were not only mispronouncing words, but जो word है ही नहीं वो word वहां पढ़ रहे थे. For example, there was a word called discounting and they were calling it discontinuing. Okay. When that happens with knowledgeable people, when they do that, my question to you is, do you think two questions. One, do you think the word discontinue and discount, is it the same?
No.
No, sir.
All right. Second, if they read like that and understand like that and whatever they are studying, do you think that is going to help them?
No. It won't.
No.
The third question, if they go and teach somebody all this because I read it in book, I really read it in book, it's written like that. If they do that, but they're reading something else and God knows what they're talking, can we learn from them? Is that a good idea?
No.
No.
No, it's not a good idea.
ये कहानी सारी शुरू कहां से हो गई? Good listening skills, good reading skills.
Reading
Do
skills.
you think the brain is responsible or is it only the mind?
Brain.
Who knows, right? I don't know. But let us say for some time, some people experience brain fog. Has anybody heard of brain fog? कुछ समझ ही नहीं आता क्या करें, क्या सोच रही हूँ. There was a lady I met and we became friends. She was a model. I used to do photography for her. And then we had a coffee and we started talking about things and we became friends. And she started saying that, in life, I don't know what's happening. I said, what do you mean? How to tell you, I have brain fog. I said, okay, then what happens? I don't know what happens and I do not know what I'm doing. Just time is like blur. I said, okay. So what are you doing about it? Oh, I don't know. The doctor's given me some, I don't know, but I'm also having omega 3. I just have that brain fog problem only. Question to all of y'all. Is she taking any action?
No.
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 Whatever she's saying, maybe that is medically accurate or maybe it's not. We don't know. But all I'm telling you is that many people who seem normal, who seem doing well, they are going in circles round and round and round in some place. Could be possible.
Yes.
Yes.
So my question to you is, how do I have so many stories to tell? Maybe I'm
Because
good at fiction, maybe I'm a writer. Of course I'm a writer, I write scripts. But do you think ये सारा imaginary मैं कुछ भी imaginary nation वाला बोलता हूँ कुछ भी?
नहीं.
नहीं,
Experience.
लेकिन एक्सपीरियंस
because
तो
you
सब
meet
लोगों को आ रहा है.
people.
Everybody has an experience. आज आपके लाइफ में आज दिन में क्या हुआ, दोपहर क्या हुआ, शाम में क्या, that is an experience. Do you remember what happened? Is there a story for you? For me, आज भी मेरे पास story है. Every day है.
शायद
Why is that
आप
happening? Can anyone tell me?
शायद आप लोगों के एक्सपीरियंस को भी लेके कुछ स्टोरी बनाते हैं शायद।
All right. Anybody else?
Because you meet new people, that's why.
Okay. Anything else? What if I don't meet new people? What if I meet old people but still I have a story? Is it possible?
You
Yes.
have good observation skills and
Then
good people
yes,
skills.
yes,
All right.
exactly. Good observation and good listening skills.
All right. So good observation, good listening,
Good listening skills.
good connection to the moment. अभी क्या हो रहा है लाइफ में उससे कनेक्टेड हैं हम. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So वो कनेक्शन कैसा है? लॉजिकल है, इमोशनल है?
Logical.
Emotional.
Emotional.
If everything is only logical, it's very difficult to remember everything, okay? Because humans are
Yes.
not so logical. All right. पापा कहते थे बचपन में, जब मैं छोटा बच्चा था, पापा कहते थे. लॉजिकल या इमोशनल?
Emotion.
Emotional.
तेरे पापा क्या कहते थे? अरे क्या मालूम, बहुत बड़बड़ करते हैं दिन भर, मेरे को बहुत परेशान करते हैं मेरे पापा. क्या बताऊं तेरे को, छोड़ ना टॉपिक. Does he have anything to say or to understand or learn? No. All right. इमोशन तो वो भी है, लेकिन पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड
नहीं.
है या नहीं है?
नहीं है.
All right. So we are understanding there are attitudes. Oh God, there is observation. There is listening. There are sensory organs. There are organs. There are perceptions. There is perception. There is comprehension. There is comprehension and logic and emotion and philosophy and psychology. And like we studied the other day, sociology and anthropology. बाप रे, सर हैवी नहीं हो रहा है? है ना? तो हम क्या करेंगे? हैवी हो अगर होता है तो दो चीजों पे काम करेंगे. एक, इतना स्ट्रांग बनेंगे कि हैवी ना हो. और दूसरा, अगर हैवी होता है तो धीरे धीरे जाएंगे लेकिन आगे बढ़ना नहीं छोड़ेंगे. बिकॉज द मोर अवेयर यू आर, द मोर नॉलेजेबल यू आर, योर चिल्ड्रन, योर किड्स are going to benefit from all this. Yes, no?
Yes.
Okay. And once they benefit, the next generation keeps benefiting. And then your kids will say, मेरी मम्मी हमेशा कहती थी, मेरे पापा हमेशा कहते थे, सोचो सोचो, डरो मत, सॉल्यूशन निकालो, सोचो, थिंक. यस, नो?
Yes, sir.
लेकिन हम थिंक के बजाय, अरे थिंक छोड़, वो इंस्टाग्राम दे रहे जरा, वो व्हाट्सएप दे, वो यूट्यूब, अरे थिंक थिंक मत करने को लगा बाबा. यस और नो? All
Yes.
right. So, two things: train our mind and also train our brain to become stronger mentally, because these two parts are involved. Now, let's quickly get into some key points. Any questions so far?
No, sir.
कभी तो कुछ पूछा करो.
Like how to train our mind to do hard things.
Yes, Nishma, we will have to have a program on that because the
Okay.
question is very tiny, but the answer. There are two kinds of answers, guys. Number one, something to understand, and number two, something to know. Should I repeat that?
Yes.
Some
Yes,
things
sir.
we can only understand, but we don't know them because we are not able to feel them. Let's take a very simple example. मुझे पता है खाना कैसे कुक होता है कुकर में, मुझे बनाना नहीं आता. All right. So these things we actually have to get into some practice. Practice yani every day I do वो practice नहीं, practice yani the act of doing certain things. तो निष्मा का जो क्वेश्चन है that is related to practice. और लास्ट टाइम हमने बुक कौन सा किया था, माइंड वाला कुछ था ना, कुछ माइंड ऑफ द प्रैक्टिस, क्या था वैसे, क्या नाम था उसका, कुछ ना, माइंड ऑफ प्रैक्टिस,
Mindfulness.
नो नो नो,
Practicing mind.
समथिंग माइंड, कुछ प्रैक्टिस, समथिंग सम,
Practicing mind.
हाँ किसने बोला ये, प्रैक्टिसिंग माइंड,
Nehal.
स्नेहल, वेरी नाइस। देखो स्नेहल, मुझे कितना एक्टिंग करना पड़ता है एक आंसर लाने के लिए, और आप बोलोगे उसको खुद कुछ याद नहीं, हमको पूछते रहते हैं बार बार, मुझे याद है सब।
Your questions will improve us actually.
All right, so guys, practicing mind. So Nishma, although we look at what to do, the answers are not going to be so short. Point number one, we will have to have a session on that, and secondly, once we know that, we will constantly have to get into a practice, just like reading also is a daily practice. Okay, so we will get into that question, Nishma's question, some other day. So far, we know that physical health ke jaise mental health is also a daily practice. So please remember that. The books told us last time when we were reading, the book was saying, don't expect a miracle. You have to practice. You have to train the brain at least for how long?
For lifetime maybe.
But he had given lifetime to, yes, but also he had given some sort of a timeline he had given, maybe like a year. Hmm? All right.
I guess
Daily
I
to,
don't
yes.
remember.
But to see results, you can't expect result immediately, even if you know. Now, what also we have to remember is whenever we go through stress, problems, issues in life, the brain gets tired. All right. When you have anxiety, mood swings, addictions, again, or unhealthy relationships, it is possible that if your brain is healthier, you might be able to deal with the situations better. Okay. When we talk about this particular doctor, and I'm answering, who asked me that question? That Sheetal, right? How do you test? So Sheetal, this particular doctor, I think in the book he talks about some SPECT test. I don't recommend in India we should do that, but in the US everybody's doing this testing, that testing, diagnostics, and all that, like medical tests. I don't think we should do that. Instead of that, if you ever feel that maybe you're not remembering much or any other thing, maybe you can Google for some brain healthy supplements. They can be foods, and if in certain cases, maybe even the doctor can recommend supplements for you. All right. Um, Now, the author also talks about if you want to be successful, if you want to be um, prosperous, the brain is also going to help you. Hmm? Um, Also, the book talks about Newton endured some 18 months of depression, psychosis. Van Gogh died of gunshot wound at the age of 37. So, a lot of things are related to brain health, is what the doctor is pointing to. From our perspective, we should think about aging. And if have you known anybody who's old and they had some sort of memory loss or memory problems when things are getting old, when people are getting old? Has anybody come across something like that? Somebody's
Yes,
parents or
yes,
someone?
yes. My dad.
Okay, so those things most possibly can be avoided. Now, some people are going to say exercise, some people are going to say yoga, no matter what, but these things can be avoided. All right. Um, so let's talk about what the book says. What are the things that we should do on a regular basis? Please realize that the book is pretty big. We cannot really finish the book in such a short time, but we are looking at some key points. One other disclaimer: no matter, even if we go through some reading and some key points from the book, this does not substitute reading the book. It means you should really read books even if you're doing all this, because our small meetings cannot cover the entire length of the book and the entire depth of the book. So the things that we can do. So obviously, drink plenty of water. Some people say 3 liters, some people say four liters. Common sense, brain healthy foods. One other thing, this doctor also talks about, think most of the times positive thoughts. What is the benefit of thinking positive thoughts? Please don't tell me law of attraction. I'm talking about from a scientific perspective. Does law of attraction fall under science? Anyone?
No, pseudoscience maybe.
No.
Okay. So so sometimes what happens is that, and I've seen this happen all the time, especially these celebrities or people on television or people who are very learned, educated gurus, or all sorts of people, they start an answer about any question. They start into mythology, then get into philosophy, then get into religion, then get into science, and mythology or new age, and everything gets very jumbled up. Now the answer could be correct, but the question is, just like we recommend that if you speak in Hindi, तो हिंदी में ही बात करें जितना आपसे मुमकिन हो. If you speak in Marathi, again, continue the same language. Similarly, if you're studying something in a scientific way, stick to science. Tomorrow, if you're studying something in a new age way, for example, law of attraction or so many other things, then stick to that when you're studying it. Later, when you develop maturity, you can mix and match things. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, we were talking about positive thoughts. How do they affect us or the brain health? So obviously, they keep the brain healthy because once, if you're thinking positive, every cell of your body understands response to that, to positive commands. And there have been scientific experiments also. There's a book called Learned Optimism by Martin Seligman, and maybe someday we can have it here. You can also read it. Beautiful book, Learned Optimism. Just like we have learned how to be pessimistic, we can also learn to be optimistic. Does anybody know how we learn to be pessimistic? Any suggestion there? Any input?
Most of the time, it doesn't require any efforts to be pessimist.
Do you remember
It
the question?
requires more efforts to be positive in some situations.
Do you remember the question, Pankaj?
Yes.
Could you repeat the question for me?
What what efforts do we need to be pessimist?
Was that the question? Anyone remembers the question? Okay.
No.
So see what happens. What happens is that if you want to get into a habit of better communication, although our answers or questions can be in the periphery, but let's try to aim for accuracy. Do you think it's possible to aim at least?
Yes.
Yes.
So some people say there is nothing called as perfection. Perfection doesn't exist. Have you heard of that? Okay. So let's go with that theory. There is no perfection. Can we aim for excellence?
Yes.
Can we aim
Yes.
for precision?
Yes.
How about
Yes.
accuracy?
Yes.
And can we aim for the best possible? Let's say the best possible for me. It may not be the world's best, but the best possible for me.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So if you have those words in mind, and it's a good idea to keep making attempts, but if you keep that as a goal, life would be simpler for you and you'll always be positive because you're always moving forward. All right, guys. Now, the name of the what is the name of the book?
Then the optimism.
Learned Optimism. Now, this learned
Learn a
optimism, the question is, if it is learned optimism, can there also be learned pessimism?
Yes.
Can anybody give an example of what is learned pessimism, learned negativity?
In childhood, our parents restrict us from doing many things, and
All
our brain is conditioned to not to do something.
all right. Is that negative really? Because what if it has positive benefits?
Sometimes it is negative. It can become negative if you do not take it positively when you become an adult, maybe.
Okay. So here is one example. As a child, when we were laughing one night, some elderly person said, अरे इतना मत हंसो, अभी हंसोगे ना तो कल रोना पड़ेगा तुमको, इतना नहीं हंसने का कभी. Has anybody heard like that? Question to you, is that true? आज हंसोगे तो कल रोना पड़ेगा.
No, no.
क्या पता, शायद सच भी हो. लेकिन क्या ये नेगेटिविटी प्रोग्राम हो गई, अभी पेसिमिज्म हो गया?
Yes.
Yes.
ओके. दूसरा एग्जांपल देखेंगे. इतना गुस्सा मत करो, गुस्सा आपके लिए ठीक नहीं है. आज इतना गुस्सा करोगे, कल आपके लिए बुरा होगा. ना इज दैट मोर लॉजिकल?
It
Yes,
is
yes.
logical. Yes.
ओके. लेकिन बीइंग हैप्पी टुडे, लाफिंग टुडे और कल दुख होगा, इज दैट लॉजिकल?
No,
No.
no.
बिकॉज दुख तो हो भी सकता है, लेकिन उसका को रिलेशन नहीं. आज हंसे इसलिए दुख हुआ, ऐसा नहीं. आज भी दुख था और कल भी दुख हो सकता है. So coming back to, what is the name of the book again? Learned Optimism,
Optimism.
and it's a good book to read. Second, the next thing is learning deep breathing techniques. Of course, we already know in India all sorts of pranayam that is healthy. Also, learning something new on a regular basis, maybe every day. Learn something new. Are we doing that already?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Then, if somebody has trauma, does anybody know what trauma is?
Mm.
Can anybody quickly explain? Hmm. Hmm. That's okay, but the question is, what is trauma? You're just using the trauma word, trauma, trauma. मतलब नहीं बताया हमको आपका.
आघात,
It
कुछ
is.
शौक लगना.
Past unpleasant or unwanted experiences
वो
or
trauma है, unpleasant experience और unwanted हो गया तो trauma हो गया.
नहीं, आघात
in a
क्यों,
bad
कुछ
sense.
शौक लगा हो.
Okay. So see, should I explain in very simple words?
Yes, sir.
Um, so usually trauma comes from the past. And for most human beings, trauma happens in childhood. Is that okay? That doesn't mean it doesn't happen when you grow up. ऐसी बात नहीं है, लेकिन जब ये word trauma होता है तो usually they talk about childhood. So, for example, some child and they were playing with a dog, and suddenly, for no apparent reason, the dog bit them very badly, or bit their mother, let's say, and her mother was bleeding. बहुत जोर से काटा, खून 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 सब जगह हो गया. Now the child is in a shock, major shock, because the person who was supposed to protect him, that person is injured, and who's responsible? A dog. That was totally unexpected. As this child grows up, that child might have scary memories about dogs, or the child can also have a feeling that anyone who comes to protect me or to save me or to love me gets bitten. In other words, gets injured. In other words, gets some bad luck. Are you with me? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So when people grow up also, they cannot forget that bad incident, and sometimes they have forgotten, but still there are times where in the subconscious it is there, and that can make them worried or scared or give them anxiety. So बड़ी सरल भाषा में, जख्म बचपन में हुई थी, अभी जख्म बिल्कुल नहीं है, ब्लीडिंग नहीं है, लेकिन जख्म के निशान अभी तक है. The scar still exists. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. So for trauma, for things like trauma, use eye movement desensitization process of reprocessing. In other words, there is some therapy called EMDR. Have you learned about this EMDR?
No.
I'm not aware of it.
Um, Talking about psychology, Why do we learn psychology? The last time we studied psychology, why did we do that? In very basic, simple words.
To understand ourselves better.
All right. Any other reason? Okay. Any other?
To observe people and see their behavior.
Sorry.
To observe people and analyze their behavior.
क्या करना है एनालाइज करके हमको क्या मिलेगा? Nobody's paying us to do that.
It gives more clarity how you should react.
All right. So should I give a very simple reason?
Sure, sir.
We learn psychology, at least when we are here, we learn psychology to get into a better place. हम जहाँ पे भी है यहाँ से और कोई better place में. It could be emotionally, it could be financially, physically, कैसे भी, but we want to be in a better place. Fair?
Yes, sir.
One.
Yes.
Now, when we look at people, observe and all that, that will help us with relationships also. True? And when we talk about
Yes.
self, so all your answers are correct. I'm just making it simpler to understand. Self-awareness से क्या होगा? We will improve ourselves. Now, to do all that, there are various tools and technologies of the mental kind. Technology यानी mobile phone और computer नहीं. Technology यानी of the mental kind. Some people go through CBT, REBT, just like EMDR, and a host of bunch of NLP and a host of modalities. Now, what they are is they are some ways to program the brain, or let's say, keep it very simple, program the mind. Now, program the mind does not mean that there's a computer and a virus attached to your brain. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Program your mind meaning you understand certain things and repeat certain things. You use your logical brain, understand and practice something. Is that straightforward enough?
Yes.
Okay. So CBT, uh, REBT, Rational Emotive Behavioral Therapy, CBT, and all sorts of things. You sit with a therapist, they will explain those activities just like physiotherapy. Has anybody done physiotherapy?
My dad did.
All right, okay. So for example, when there's an injury, किसी को fracture है, किसी को sprain हो गया हाथ पाँव को, तो you go to a physiotherapist and they give you exercises, but they don't just give you exercises, they sit with you or stand with you and get those exercises done from you. Yes, no?
Yes.
Similarly, the CBT, REBT, and all these things, you need a therapist in front of you. They take you through that experience. Then you can do it alone also. But these are modalities of some sort of therapy which is going to bring you from a negative place to a positive place. In other words, help you with your well-being. कई सारे psychological therapies हैं. Someday, if you're interested, we'll go through some of them if you like them, because not only will they help you, they can also help people around you. And awareness will definitely be a big plus point for you. Awareness is equal to knowledge. Knowledge is equal to, of course, the clarity. You can also have conversations with friends, family, in the office, wherever you go. You will appear to be a knowledgeable person. That will give you more confidence also. So every little thing that we do here, every 5 or 10 minutes we spend together here is adding to your. All right. Keep that very simple goal in mind. जो भी कर रहे हैं, confidence के लिए कर रहे हैं. And we also understand beyond all this, why should we get confident? उससे क्या मिलेगा?
Growth.
It will improve our personality.
हाँ, उसके आगे क्या होगा improve करके?
Growth and success.
पर्सनालिटी डेवलप होगा.
हाँ, डेवलप के बाद क्या होगा? उससे क्या
ग्रो
मिलेगा?
ग्रो होगे
हाँ,
पर्सन
ग्रोथ के
लाइफ
बाद
में.
क्या मिलेगा?
सक्सेस मिलेगा.
सक्सेस के बाद क्या मिलेगा?
पीस मिलेगा.
क्या मिलेगा?
पीस.
पीस मिलेगा. पीस तो विदाउट सक्सेस भी मिल सकता है. मेडिटेशन करो, पीस मिल जाएगा. कितने भी आप फेलियर क्यों ना हो. So one of the things which I feel, again, not in a book, it's on the secret website, and that is, if you're confident for the most part of your life, you are happy for the most part of your life. Should I repeat that? Make sense? The number of times, if I count in life, if I was not confident, I wasn't very happy. But the more number of times I feel confident, I feel happier. I feel relaxed. I feel strong. I feel responsible that I can take that action. Are you with me? बट ये अपने आप नहीं होगा, इसको बिल्ड करना होगा. All right. Now, if I have a car, will I feel happy? Well, honestly, yes.
Yes.
Depends.
All right. No, no, ऐसा कुछ नहीं हो तो डिपेंड. ऐसे बेच दो कार, दे दो सबको, तो दे दो, मुझको दे दो. All right. The word happy does not mean lifelong happiness. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying, is it a good feeling? Yeah. Do you feel good? You got a car. कल को कुछ इमरजेंसी हुई, गॉड फॉरबिड आपके किसी फैमिली मेंबर की तबीयत खराब हुई, तो रिक्शा के लिए रुकने की जरूरत नहीं. Go get the car, take that person to the doctor immediately. Good,
Yes.
bad?
Good one.
Okay. Do you
Good.
feel good when do you feel good that you can do that?
Yes.
Are you happy about that little aspect of your life that you've taken care?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you now understand the meaning of happiness? What I am saying happiness? नहीं नहीं, happiness के लिए पैसे की जरूरत नहीं रहती है. I'm not talking about all that. I'm not talking about gyan and philosophy. I'm talking about practicality of life.
Yes.
Does it make you more confident
Yes.
that you can take care of
Yes.
your family?
Yes.
Do you feel
Yes.
positive about yourself कि हाँ मैंने किया बाबा, जितना हो सके मैंने किया, मैंने एक्शन ली, मैं कंफ्यूज नहीं
Yes.
हो गया. Yes?
Yes, sir.
All right. So please understand, happiness, I am repeating that. Happiness does not mean lifelong happiness. वो कोई कहानी नहीं वो है नो. And the prince and the princess got married and they lived happily ever after. उस happiness की बात नहीं कर रहा हूं मैं. I'm sure you found your prince and princess. Good luck to you. लेकिन I'm talking about कितने खुश हो गए सारे सुन के. वाह. लेकिन I'm talking about the happiness that comes from developing your ability to solve your problems. अब तो सिंपल है समझने में.
Yes.
All right. और यहाँ पे your brain will come into the picture. Your brain is going to help you think clearly. So EMDR is a kind of what? Modality of therapy. Is that straightforward? We haven't done it, but at least concept to pata chala. It's like physiotherapy, but it's not a physiotherapy. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, of course, avoid addictions and avoid alcohol, blah, blah, blah. We already know that. Then the doctor also said that you should sing and hum. ये hum क्या है?
Song humming.
वाह वाह, हम
गुनगुनाना।
क्या है? अरे हम मतलब हमिंग. अच्छा, और एक्सरसाइज क्या
गुनगुनाना।
है? अरे एक्सरसाइज मतलब एक्सरसाइजिंग. अच्छा, ये क्या है?
गुनगुनाना।
हाँ?
गाना
बिना मुंह
गुनगुनाना।
खोले गाना
गुनगुनाना।
गाना.
तो हमिंग को क्या? तो व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन गाना और गुनगुनाना?
Humming
Something like
is without lyrics.
ओके, वेरी नाइस. कितना सिंपल है ना? ये आंसर कैसे, कहां से आ रहा है ये आंसर? आपने आपके अंदर छुपे हुए आंसर्स हैं क्या कहीं से बोरो कर रहे हो?
नहीं,
छुपे हुए
लॉजिक
आंसर्स.
लॉजिक लगा है.
लॉजिक लगा इसमें.
अच्छा, तो नहीं मतलब छुपे नहीं आपके अंदर.
नहीं.
छुपे हुए.
देखो, whatever is hiding inside you, knowledge, awareness, talent, potential, एक कोच का क्या काम होता है?
To teach and to
No.
inspire.
A coach's job is to get your talents out, not to
Hmm.
teach. वो टीचर का काम है teach which.
Okay.
All right, guys. Am I a teacher? Actually, I'm not. करना पड़ता है teaching, लेकिन basically I'm not a teacher. All right, guys. So ये coaching की ही properties हैं ऐसी, and all of us we need a coach because a coach can help us become strong. जैसे आपको महाभारत में मालूम है कोचेस कौन थे. चलो आगे जाएं. So the things that we are supposed to avoid, let's take a few examples. I mean, these are common sense, but exercise, don't skip exercise. Don't skip meals. Don't skip nutritional foods. All right. If you are behaving in an abnormal way, do not ignore it. ध्यान दो कि ऐसा क्या हो रहा है, ऐसा क्यों behave कर रहे हो. For example, suddenly if you start getting very angry or any sort of behavior which is not your normal behavior, do not ignore it. Don't have too much of alcohol or caffeine. ओके और जब आपको गुस्सा आए, अपने आप के ऊपर गुस्सा आए, तकदीर के ऊपर गुस्सा आए, तो आपके अपने सर को नहीं पीटना. डोंट हिट योर हेड. कुछ लोग करते हैं ना ऐसे. Then the other thing is, do not argue with people who are stuck up. What does stuck up mean?
Stefan.
मतलब नहीं, अड़ियल लोग थोड़े से.
Okay. So he's talking about some ideal लोग. कौन से ideal लोग?
आइडियल नहीं, अड़ियल हिंदी वर्ड.
मैं उनको देख रहा हूँ, उनको चेक कर रहा हूँ, उन्होंने सुना क्या नहीं. सर वो आइडियल आइडियल बोल रहा था सर. तो क्या है ये? व्हाट इज स्टक अप? दीप्ति मैम. ओ या, आज वो बेजुबां है. आज वो इशारों से बात करेंगे, लेकिन हमने गलती से
जो
पूछना नहीं
खुद
चाहिए उनको.
स्टक है अपने लाइफ में,
हाँ, लाइफ में क्या?
जो खुद स्टक है और दूसरों को राय दे रहे वो.
अरे बाप रे. ऑल राइट, सो लेट्स कीप इट वेरी सिंपल. हमने बहुत सारे मूवीज देखे हैं, टीवी शो देखे हैं जिंदगी भर, और हमको अलग अलग टाइप के आंसर मीडिया से बहुत आते हैं. ऑल राइट, तो सो हम सिंपल बात याद रखेंगे. जो लोग रिजिड है, चेंज नहीं होते या चेंज नहीं करना चाहते, उनके साथ अपना वक्त जाया
नहीं करें.
नहीं
बाद
करना
में.
चाहिए,
वेरी गुड. बाद में डोंट बी
नुकसान
अराउंड
होता है.
टॉक्सिक पीपल. व्हाट इज टॉक्सिक? एनीवन? जो लोग जो करते हैं ना, टॉक करते हैं, कैसी बातें, सिक बातें करते हैं, टॉक वो होते हैं टॉक्सिक. करेक्ट.
जो हमेशा नेगेटिव रहते हैं,
ये भी लॉजिक.
हाँ,
कितना भी
negative
पॉजिटिव
रहते हैं.
रहे सिचुएशन, उनको नेगेटिविटी ही दिखती है. ऐसे
All
टॉक्सिक
right.
पीपल.
Any other? Can anybody give an example? Rohit? Any example? But this is, you're giving an explanation. This is not an example, Rohit. You are a world champion of examples. जब हम एग्जाम्पल नहीं पूछते, आप तो एग्जाम्पल ही शुरू करते हैं. जब एग्जाम्पल पूछते हैं तो कुछ और ही डेफिनेशन बोलते हैं, कभी एक्सप्लेनेशन बोलते हैं. ये क्या चक्कर क्या है? ऐसे क्यों करते हो रोहित जी? No, sir. Basically, my goal is whatever you ask, I will talk, give some other only answer. I just want to see that expression on your face. No, but there's no camera. You can't see any expression today. Guys, any example of somebody being rigid? Hmm. All right. तो clearly शीतल मैम को सब समझ में आया. शीतल मैम, could you explain that for us?
I didn't understand his example, but I can give my
No,
example.
but नहीं, कुछ करना ही नहीं है. जो एग्जाम्पल वही है. ईशा मैम, नहीं, कौन है? उषा मैम, can you please explain what you just talked
नो
about?
सर, मैं मुझे नहीं समझा.
Very good.
आई वाज
निशा
गोइंग
मैम,
टू आस्क.
वो जो दूसरे टीचर का बिहेवियर पूरा माहौल खराब कर देता है, वो बोलना चाह रहा
पहले
था
टीचर का
रोहित. वो अच्छे है, दूसरे टीचर आते और फिर बाकी सब लोगों का मतलब मूड खराब कर
सब
देते हैं.
मूड खराब कर दिया.
सो ही इज टॉक्सिक.
Is that what you're saying, Rohit? Is what she's saying, does that make sense to you? Seriously? मतलब हमारे सारे सेशन में एक इंसान को पता चला रोहित क्या बोल रहे, वो निश्मा है. मैजिक. मुझे तो कुछ पल्ले नहीं पड़ा what he was saying. All right. तो thank you, Rohit. But anybody give an example of what is? See, Rohit has lot of liberties with us because Rohit is our youngest member. तो वो जो चाहे कर सकते हैं, उनको बहुत लिबर्टी है. जब तक वो ग्रेजुएट नहीं होते और उनकी सैलरी नहीं चालू होती, तब तक हम उनको कुछ नहीं बोलेंगे. जब उनकी सैलरी शुरू होगी ना डॉलर्स में, देन विल कैच हिम. अभी तो फ्री बर्ड है वो. एनीबडी एल्स? सिंपल एग्जांपल ऑफ व्हाट इज अ टॉक्सिक पर्सन. एग्जांपल चाहिए मुझे, नाम नहीं चाहिए. सर मेरे बॉस है ना शर्मा जी. नहीं नहीं, You don't want name. You want an example of toxic behavior. Parismita. Okay, I think she's
Yes,
having
sir.
example of a toxic person. Do you have any example? Not real person. It can just be imaginary. We just want to see what is toxic behavior.
So I think he's negative about each and everything. Each and every positive aspect, he get the negative side or
All right, all right. Anybody else? Simple example आप दे रहे हैं कि मैं दूं? Is Gaurav going to speak?
I'm sorry, I'm not having any example of toxic person.
All right. So here's I'm going to give you a very simple example. No matter what you do, some people will not praise you. Even if you win an award, a gold medal, even if you come first in the class, even if you get a salary, some people are not praising you. Are you noticing that they don't give any compliment? That could be one example, mildly toxic. There are some people who will discourage you. फॉर एग्जाम्पल यू से मैं सोचता हूँ बिजनेस शुरू करो, अरे नहीं नहीं बिजनेस शुरू करें, पता है कितने लॉस में जाते हैं. अच्छा, मे बी आई शुड स्टार्ट अ रेस्टोरेंट. ओ नो नो, फूड इज द वर्स्ट एवर, वो लेबर मानते ही नहीं है. मे बी आई शुड बिकम अ ब्यूटिशियन. अरे नो, एक केस हो गई थी ना परसों एक ब्यूटिशियन के ऊपर, वो एलर्जी हुई थी स्किन की. So basically what is happening is they do not, they always keep discouraging you. That is also a behavior which is toxic. So here, what is being said is stay away from toxic people. I just gave you a few examples. Clear? If
Yes,
you
sir.
want to
Yes.
have more information, please read what are toxic people. Reading always helps, but at least we have some basic idea. Then, do not self medicate. Of course, doctor से जाके common sense है. And those people who love you, if they are giving you some sort of suggestions or recommendation or advice, maybe a loved one is telling you that please exercise, you are gaining weight, or if a loved one is telling you that please sleep on time. I know that you are on social media till 2 in the morning, please don't do that. तो ऐसी एडवाइस को लव्ड वाले लोगों की एडवाइस को इग्नोर
नहीं करना चाहिए.
ना करो. Yes. So these are some of the books, some of the points, and there are some quotes. Let's take a look at some quotes about the brain or in the book. If you're not taking good care of your brain, you are at a significantly higher risk of brain fog, memory
Improvements in
problems,
overlooked and
low
unexpected
energy,
areas.
distractibility,
They tested
poor
different types of
decisions,
massage gels to see
obesity,
which one
heart
led.
disease, diabetes, and more. Um, so, do you know the name of the author again? Anyone?
Dr. Amen.
So, generally speaking, I mean, you can listen to him on YouTube also. He's done some talks and everything, interviews also. And generally speaking, he does talk a lot of things which are common sense, which we all already know. But he's also asking people to do some tests to make sure the brain is fine. One of the beautiful things that we should do is read a little bit.
Yes, sir.
See, brain, he uses a term called brain reserve. Have you heard it?
No, sir.
So basically, what he's saying
No.
is there is some sort of an uh, extra potential that you can develop with your brain that is going to help you cope with stress better than maybe other people or better than yourself that you were doing earlier. So you can use a word called brain reserve. This is some sort of an ability or a cushion or some sort of a power you can develop that अगर stress होता भी है लेकिन आपको वो इतना ज्यादा स्ट्रेसफुल नहीं लगता. जिंदगी में स्ट्रेस खत्म कभी होने वाला है हमारे?
Never.
ओके जब तक जिंदा है तो स्ट्रेस तो रहेगा ही. But if you notice, some people are very worried about the exam. Some people are very scared of crossing the street. Some people get worried, बाप रे, now what food should I order here? This is all Italian. I don't understand. अभी मैं क्या करूं? Panic देखा है ऐसे किसी को होते हुए? Hmm?
होता है।
So the more you have brain reserve, the less you're going to panic, the more your brain is going to be healthier, the less, or you'll never have brain fog, hopefully. And as we keep aging, the brain knows how to handle huge amount of data. The brain knows how to be active and alive. The brain is also developing. Even we get into old age, the brain is still developing. It has not fully developed. Is that simple? तब तक even if you're very very old, you can learn new things. और जो हमने start में बोला था, you cannot teach an old
Dog neuter.
new tricks. That is not true anymore. According to new research, you can teach new tricks to any person. And that's why our habit of joining a book club, थोड़ा क्यों ना हो, एक पेज क्यों ना हो, एक paragraph क्यों ना हो, if we keep reading, keep learning, keep the brain active. So what are the ways we can keep our brain active apart from the book? What are the other things we can do? If you want, make a note.
Art,
Sorry?
painting or art making,
Very good. So
mandala making.
art can help you with your mental health. Now, whenever your mind is healthy, obviously the brain also becomes healthy. They are, of course, interconnected. And art is going to help you heal. Art is going to help you feel peace and calm. So using artistic ability is one part. What about creative ability? Anyone?
It will also improve.
Yes, it
But what is
helps.
the difference, art and creativity? Anyone?
Art is
Art is artistic
consistency.
and
I mean,
creativity is very creative. Thank you for that answer. Anybody else? Okay. Any other answer? What is the difference between them? Gaurav, would you like to try?
Art is very specific. Creative, if we go broader level, then creative can be anything. For example, I can be creative even in communication. Art is
Hmm.
specific to mandala, painting,
No,
designing.
अभी आजकल तो ऐसे बोलते हैं ना, communication is an art, cooking is an art, serving food is an art.
Yeah.
आजकल तो हर एक चीज को आर्ट भी बोल रहे हैं, फिर भी दोनों में थोड़ा बहुत फर्क कुछ होगा. So you can try to figure out what the difference is, but
Creative means producing like new things or discovering new things
all
by
right.
being creative.
चलो मैं आपको सिंपल सा एग्जांपल दूंगा. Art will give you happiness, joy, healing, relaxation, वगैरह वगैरह. And creativity can help you solve problems. This may not be the only difference, but this is a good difference. Are you with me here? Should I quickly give you an example?
yes, sir.
Yes.
Mm, have you seen the? Okay, I had a Coca-Cola bottle, let's say a plastic bottle, 2 liter, and I had some spray nozzle attached to a bottle. I removed that spray, I put it in the Coca-Cola bottle, and now this has become a beautiful little bottle for me to spray, for me to water my plants. Is it possible?
Yes.
नहीं समझे, हिंदी में बताओ.
Yeah, I get
All right. So now we use creativity. No, there is no art involved there. It is creative thinking. All right. If someday, if you like, we can also get into a little bit of design thinking. But of course, only if you like.
yes, yes.
Um, so see, more or less, um, the what the book is saying is that take responsibility of your brain health, increase your brain reserve. जो natural aging process है, you may look old, you may feel old, but your brain can be fresh and young. And इस सब के लिए we'll have to do certain things. The doctor talks about the test. That's what I told you. And of course, he will talk about the limbic system. We know that the limbic system, limbic brain, yes, no, okay. Then he also talks about the four areas: biological, social, spiritual, and psychological. So, if we can be healthy in these areas, they are going to help our brain. How will social help the brain? Anyone?
Being
It
surrounded
will
by
release,
friends.
Huh?
yeah,
How does that
release
help the
good
brain?
hormones.
Correct, correct. Very nice. All right. Then somebody last time who was talking about the ganglia, basal ganglia. I forgot who was talking about basal ganglia. In our group, somebody is talking about it. Anyway, so the basal ganglia, basically, which integrates feelings, thoughts, and movement, is involved for forming habits. So, habit is equal to basal ganglia, that is the connection. If there is an imbalance in the basal ganglia, something bad can happen related to habits. The prefrontal cortex, which is the most advanced part of the brain, that will be the decision maker, and it will help us keep away from poor judgment and things like that. So the book also has talks about anterior cingulate gyrus and temporal lobes and whatever. We are not going to get into the details, but we looked at the basic concept. Mm, take care, take care of the brain, help yourself, be healthy. Now, little activity to you for you. Should I give a very tiny little activity? You don't have to do it
Yes.
now. You don't have to do it now. You can do it tomorrow also. The activity is just identify a few foods which are good for the brain and a few habits which are good for the brain. You can also Google it. Now, a few habits could be your sleeping habits, and a few foods could be, who knows, walnuts. So, anybody who's interested, just write a few points, 2 points, 4 points, 6 points. Do not copy paste 20 pages. Huh? Please don't do that. Just write some key points and post it on the group. Try to make it your own answer. No, I just copy paste. Why try? No, seriously, try. Try writing something. Read something. Write only 2 sentences, 4 sentences, but write. Don't copy paste. All right. That's it from my side. It is 10:07. We are in good speed. If anybody wants to say anything, ask anything, now is the time. Who came in late? Manju. Hi, Manju. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
We haven't heard you or seen you for a long time. Hope everything is okay with you.
Yes, yes, everything is fine. A bit busy schedule.
Mhm. All right, ladies and gentlemen. On Monday, we have. Does anybody want to say anything, ask anything before I move to the next topic? Wonderful, Rohit. Now,
Leadership skills.
I just said that if anybody wants to say anything, talk anything, in other words, about what we did today or about the book. And then I said, I will move on to the next topic. So Rohit already said, yeah, I want to talk. And then he directly moved to the next topic.
Sir, I would like to
Hmm.
say about the new timing that this suits us well actually. So
All right.
thank you for the change.
Very
And
nice.
the session was very interesting. Means we learned about brain more. So I even tried downloaded a sample because Amazon app doesn't allow. But I'm going to read this one. This
I did
seems
not understand.
interesting.
I did not understand. Could you please repeat that? What doesn't allow?
Amazon app doesn't allow a purchase, so I just added a sample to my Kindle. So I
Okay.
will be purchasing this book and going to read. So,
So see,
so
people.
your sessions inspired me. This session, two sessions, last session and this one, to read this book.
Yes, if you people are interested, we can also have psychology part 3. And by the way, till today, whatever we have done in psychology, Believe it or not, I, this is a secret, okay, don't tell anyone. I have not taught you anything which is really practical, okay? But if you stick around in the coming time, I might introduce something which is mind blowing, very easy to do, extremely powerful, and 100% practical. I know of some tools that can be learned and that can be used every day. Very beautiful, very
Okay.
powerful. Okay. So far, we are building a foundation. After building a foundation, then we'll be ready to take on some practical stuff. If I would have gone there directly, आपको बाउंसर जाते थे बहुत सारे.
Yes. Thank
At
you
least
so
हमें दो
much
चार
for this.
चीजें अभी याद हैं. We remember the prefrontal cortex. We remember the limbic brain or the lizard brain. We
Yes.
understand there is cortisol, there is adrenaline. We understand these things. We understand there is the neural network. We understand neurons. We understand how habits are formed. Okay, from a scientific perspective, nothing spiritual, nothing religious, nothing voodoo about it. Just straightforward science, and we will continue that. And after we finish that, then we'll look at other things. Not to say that they are wrong or bad or anything, but we are just trying to maintain the purity of one subject and one approach. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
The day we get into, let's say, spirituality, we will not talk science. All right. Now they are of course interconnected. It is proven, but we will prefer, when we are in a spiritual zone, we'll just get into spirituality. All right. So इनका जो क्वेश्चन था रोहित का, एक तो है कि we got an opinion that we got an input that this timing suits us well. The second thing is, in terms of you had promised me people that you will be conducting, you will be reading, you will be taking over. Is that day coming anytime soon? चेहरे देखो इनके. All right. Next week, if you want, I can still go on. You can take over the week after that. Is that okay for people? So
Okay.
Deepti ma'am, आपको नहीं पता होगा. Gaurav also doesn't know. But the original deal is, Nishma also is not aware. The original deal is that I do some hand holding in the beginning, and later on, our responsible, strong team members, they are going to share knowledge from books that they have read, which is going to save us time. And they will also take us through some sessions on book reading. They will be guiding us, facilitating the process. All right. Okay. I got to take this call. I'm so sorry. Hello. Cannot hear you. Hello. Cannot hear you. Light. Yes. All right, people. One other thing, two other things. On Sunday, we usually have some sort of a learning event. Yeah. I try to do that. It's not a compulsion. The book clubs that I know, they run once a month. Uh, we run, of course, more than that. And in the learning event, we have gone through psychology, we have gone through art and stuff like that. I'm giving you an option. This Sunday, I possibly will be doing something with something on the artistic side. Now, although art seems very off for us, कि art का हमसे क्या लेना देना, but it keeps developing a part of your brain which will help you with observation, which will help you with feel, which will help you with relaxation and also creative problem solving in direct or indirect ways. तो उनका एक टॉपिक आ रहा है सामने, फोटोग्राफी से रिलेटेड है. जिनको इंटरेस्ट है, tag along. This is going to happen on, I believe, at 11 in the morning. Sorry, at 5 in the evening on Sunday, which is the 6th of April. In the morning, if I am available, maybe we could have a session on learning something between 11 and 1. But I will confirm if you guys are keen, we can do that. As
I
far
thought
as
Pune people are going to meet on 6th of April.
करो ना मीट, उसके बाद में कर सकते हैं.
Okay.
चेक कर लो आप. Then on Monday, we are starting a new book at now the revised time. Maybe I'll just confirm that maybe 9 o'clock or 8:45, and that will be You Can Win. It's a very easy to read book. It's very easy to understand, and beautiful book. It's not my favorite, but it's a beautiful beginner's book. So anybody who's begun on the journey of self-development, self-improvement, you should definitely read that, buy it, invest, spend money. It's a very good start. If you ask me, in your opinion, is that a well written or whatever? So please don't ask me such things. I'm only saying it's going to be very useful for you. Uh, Monday and Tuesday, that's going to happen. That's it from my side. If you people want to say anything, now is your time, and we'll be leaving in the next 3 minutes or so. We'll be closing.
Thank you for the session, sir. Got a great learning about how to change or change the mind by through psychological or through habits.
So Nishma, thank you so much for the appreciation. What's happening is we are getting lot of information and lot of knowledge in bits and pieces. जैसे jigsaw puzzle होता है ना, we are getting lot
Yes,
of stuff. Now, in your mind, as time passes by, it will start, the dots will get connected and it will form a bigger, meaningful picture. तो जो
yes,
भी
yes.
नॉलेज
That's
अंदर आ रहा है,
right.
लेते जाओ, लेते जाओ, लेते जाओ. And I always say this, I always do it, I've always done it in my life. If I join any training program, let it be free or let it be costing $2,000, I simply ask myself one question: did I learn something new? If I learned something new, it was worth my money, worth my time, worth my travel, worth my energy. So make sure that you focus on that कि आज मैंने नया कुछ सीखा क्या, कानों पे नया कुछ पढ़ा है क्या? Because frankly telling you, nobody has the time to spend for other people's development. All right? So you are in a good place. All of us are here to help each other develop. Take Make the best of this opportunity and focus on, आज जब आप सेशन खत्म होता है ना, फोकस करो नया क्या वर्ड देखा मैंने, नया क्या सीखा, कौन सा नया कॉन्सेप्ट मुझे अच्छा लगा. मेक अ नोट. A good idea would be to share it on the group. Hey, I like this concept. Hey, I like this idea. Or I like so and so, whatever he spoke or she spoke or whatever, something like that. When you add something, when you type it and add it on the group, two things happen. One, you are revising something, you are appreciating something. Two, you start becoming important, not in a negative way, in a positive way. All right. The ability to say something, to express something starts being developed. And that is a part of personality development. Agree, disagree?
Agree, sir.
अरे कौन और टाइप करते बैठेगा, क्या डालने का ग्रुप के उधर, बहुत ऐसे पहले बहुत मैसेज रहते, अपने को क्या करने का, अपने का हो गए ना ला. That's an attitude problem. All right, work on the attitude. Say, I am learning something, and I would just like to point out or thank or appreciate जो भी रहेगा. It could be the author. Write that author's name. Write the speaker's name. जिसका भी, this person said this or this author said that. That's a good concept. I like it. Write it. दो sentence क्यों ना हो, लिखो. Ignore मत करो. Another thing. It's not very, how should I say, suppose Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford, they said this, he said that. It's a good thing to talk about what people talk. But my question is, what do you have to say? Are you with me? कुछ कुछ समझ रहा है? मुझे पता है कि कितने ग्रेट लोगों ने कितनी ग्रेट बातें बोली है, मुझे सब पता है. मुझे ये सुनना है कि आपका क्या कहना है, आपको क्या कहना है. What do you feel? What do you think? Share that. That brings more value because If you constantly keep referring other people, you're simply doing names dropping. You have no content of your own. You have no mind of your own. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So if you want to bring value, do that. Thank you, Nishma.
Yes, sir.
सर कितना लंबा आंसर दिया, मैंने तो बस अप्रिशिएट किया था. हाँ निश्मा, लेकिन
नहीं नहीं नहीं, ऐसे कुछ नहीं.
बट इसको भी आप अप्रिशिएट कर सकते हो कि कोई टाइम निकाल रहा है ये बोलने के लिए,
Yes,
कोई
yes,
सोच रहा है
that's
मेरे
true.
फ्यूचर के लिए. आजकल सब बिजी है, किसी के पास टाइम नहीं है.
आता है.
ऑल राइट, सो मंडे इट इज एंड संडे आई विल लेट यू नो uh, between, like I said, 11 to 1. It could be 12 to 1. It could be 11 to 12:30. I'll post something if I have the time. Again, it might be something valuable, maybe psychology or something. In the evening, by the way, even if I don't do that, in the evening, there is a session on how to take good pictures even with your simple mobile. That is interesting in the sense you will start understanding how to observe beauty, how to look at beauty, and how to push whatever you have. I'm going to give you a very basic example. अगर आपके हाथ के मोबाइल फोन पे अगर आप प्रोफेशनल जैसी फोटोज ले सकते हो, अगर हम जिंदगी को अप्लाई करें, मैं तो बहुत एवरेज हूं, मैं तो बहुत सिंपल हूं, लेकिन जैसे आपके फोन ने कर दिखाया उसकी ताकत के बाहर वाली चीज, वैसे क्या मैं भी कर सकती हूं? एंड दिस इज द पैराडाइम शिफ्ट वी आर लुकिंग फॉर. पैराडाइम शिफ्ट यानी दिस इज द टोटल चेंज ऑफ एटीट्यूड. ऑलराइट, okay, that's it from my side. I am done for the day. If somebody wants to say something, now is your time and we call it a day.
Thank you so much for an amazing session, sir. There were many key points which I heard first time, and it was very, very, learning and enhancing session today. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheetal ma'am. um Book reading ka tomorrow we don't have any session. I mean, earlier I used to have more sessions because I had some free time. Jaise my calendar is being booked, I'm not finding enough time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, does anybody want to do like a closing talk or anything? जाने से पहले ये क्लोजिंग टॉक की जरूरत क्या है? आए आए बड़बड़ सुनी, घर जा रहे, टॉक क्या करना उसमें? टॉक इसलिए करना है क्योंकि जिस काम के लिए आए हैं, कुछ लेना भी है, कुछ देना भी है. पर्सनालिटी डेवलप करने के लिए इन और आउट उसके हमें लूप कंप्लीट करना होता है. यस, नो?
Yes, sir.
All right. So when you share something, even if it's a simple vote of thanks or something, it's a leadership skill. If somebody wants to take the opportunity, definitely do that. Very nice, Rohit. And let me tell you, आसान नहीं है. Not easy. And that's why we need to constantly use our prefrontal cortex. What should I do? How should I keep the balance? So सिर्फ mind नहीं होता है ना, brain भी तो है.
Yes, sir.
All right. Is anybody doing the closing? Parismita, do you want to? वो तो बेचारी सो भी गई. उषा मैम, do you want to? Because अभी तो दीप्ति मैम ने तो चुप्पी रख ली, तो उनको भी cannot say anything. हाँ.
I would like to say thank you, sir. I got to learn some new things today in today's session. So thank you so much.
All right. So do you want to say good night, bye bye to other people also?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Good night to all.
All right, guys. Just
अभी
like
से
Usha
बेड
ma'am
टाइम
said.
सर, सो
Huh?
गुड नाइट
Sorry.
तो बनता है.
हाँ हाँ. All right, guys. जैसे मैंने
Thank you,
कहा,
everyone.
एनर्जी रहे, इंटेंशन रहे, एक दो पॉइंट ग्रुप पे डाल देना.
Yes, sir.
Start
Thank you so much.
typing. Take some efforts. Okay. Bye.
Thank you so much,
Bye.
everyone. Good
Bye
night.
bye.
Bye,
Bye
everyone.
bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.